Welcome to another episode. This episode will be unfiltered, unedited. I am going to just cover the day of my birthday. And so I know I gave some lessons, but this podcast is going to be everything that I was processing on my birthday. So for some of you that are on my email list, you got an email with what was coming up and what was happening for me. But I wanted to come and share this on here because I'm sure it'll resonate with someone or give context to other people. And because I know that it's important to share. I want to grab my water. Okay, so my birthday is July 17th, is, and my wedding anniversary is July 14th. I'm freezing, by the way. So I'm going to start on my wedding anniversary, July 14th, because that's when it started. And then I have little notes here because I'm going to try and do my best to cover. And then I have a little picture of me, little me, that I wanted to have here as well. And I have my journal close by, just in case I want to reference my journal. So I'm actually going to open up to the day of my birthday, just in case I want to come and read something from my journal. I journaled so much on my birthday, like 17 pages that I journaled. Okay, so let's get started. As I was saying, on July 14th, that is my wedding anniversary. And on that day, I realized that already things were coming up. So on this day, it was a Monday, I decided that I was going to do a romantic dinner in my living room, something that I have had on my heart and on my mind to want to do for a really long time, to do these cute romantic things. And I realized how I had been afraid of doing it because I was afraid of how it was going to be received by my husband and whether he was going to like it. And is this corny? I had all of these crazy stories. And I realized on that day, as I was sitting there, I heard my father's voice almost with, "Oh, apaga esa porquería." And I'm like, whoa, the fact that I believed that my husband would say something like that when I know that he wouldn't, he would love this. But also thinking back to how my father would receive things. It's really hard till this day, I feel, for him to receive things, to be celebrated. It's very much of like, oh, no big deal type of attitude. So it already started then. And then on Tuesday, I want to say, yeah, my husband mentioned something while we were sitting on the couch, and he's like, "Oh, I would be so afraid of putting something on for you, like a surprise, because I would be afraid of reaching out to people and them telling me, no, they can't make it, because I know how you show up for people." And I already felt it. I was like, oh, he is just saying something out loud to me that I have already believed. I was like, oh, he's mirroring to me something that I believe to be true, which is a big reason why I don't plan things for myself. Interesting. Okay. So that happened on Tuesday. By Wednesday, I was already, I could feel like the floodgates wanting to open up. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to feel this right now. I just don't. I want to enjoy my birthday. I had zero plans for my birthday. And so Wednesday, he was already asking me, like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want to do for your birthday?" He had taken off. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." Because I'll tell you everything that was coming up, but it was just like, oh, I just don't know what to do. My friends were asking, like, "What are your plans?" Like, zero plans. This was Wednesday. I can feel that, like, I needed to cry and I just didn't want to deal with it. I was resisting it. Pero mi amor, by Thursday, I couldn't even help it. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't want to be sad. I just don't want to be sad. But I woke up feeling so sad. I went to sleep feeling sad, but I woke up feeling so sad, so sad. And I couldn't even help myself. And I remember my daughter being downstairs with me, and typically she knows when I'm like crying. And I don't know if she was trying to distract me or I don't know. Anyways, I remember my husband asking me in the kitchen, like, "What's wrong?" Because he can tell. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Upset. And then I come downstairs. My daughter's hanging out downstairs talking to me. And I'm just like, what is happening for me? I tried to take a nap. And my husband was like, absolutely not. I didn't take off so that you could take a nap. Let's talk about it. So so many things that were coming up for me. And this is where I realized that, like, wow, I have not celebrated myself, or I have chosen not to celebrate myself, because for as far back as I can remember, I was opting out of being celebrated. And so, from what I remember, from my perspective, right, I remember seeing my parents stressed out about my sister's sweet 15, sweet 16, whichever one they had. And I remember opting out with, like, hey, I don't want that, because I felt bad. I don't want them to be stressing over trying to have a celebration for me. So I opted out of that. But on my birthday, I just kept thinking back to whether or not I remembered birthdays. And I'm like, I don't remember birthdays. And again, I could be completely wrong. I haven't called my mom or my dad to, like, ask whether or not they celebrated my birthdays. But this is what I was remembering from my perspective, from my recollection. And I remember not remembering birthdays. I'm like, I actually don't remember birthdays. I don't remember having birthday parties. I remember one in Puerto Rico, when I lived in Puerto Rico, and I don't even know that my parents were a part of this. I know they were there, but I remember my friends there at the time having a surprise birthday party, and I feel like I was turning 15, maybe. So they had a little surprise party. It was at, I think her name was Lisi. It was at Lisi's house. My best friend from Connecticut, we have been friends since preschool, was in Puerto Rico. Her and I had matching dresses. So I remember that party, that birthday, like, vividly and clearly. And then I remember I was turning 24, I think, because this was the year before my husband now and I started talking. And my mom, we were going to Philly, and she had planned to take me to a male strip club. We had a blast. We partied our asses off that year. But other than that, I don't remember birthdays. I don't have a lot of memories. And so I don't even feel like it was the adult me crying. I felt like it was the little girl in me that was so sad. Like, wow, I'm never celebrated. Nobody cares. And the story that I have done work around is the I don't matter story. And all of the tears, all of the floodgates, all of the sadness. And I'm just like, oh, why today? Why? So all of that was coming up for me. And my husband was there to support me. And this was huge for me to allow myself to be seen in this way, to just share the things that were coming up for me, to allow my husband to support me. I'm going to try to do this without crying, but we'll see. But for him to witness me in this way, yes, him and I have been together for a really long time, but there's a lot of things that I deal with on my own. And on this day, he wasn't going to allow that. Not because he wasn't respecting a boundary, not because of anything other than, like, hey, I'm here for you. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't even have to talk about it. But I'll be here with you. You can cry. I'll be here. If you want to, I'll listen. And just literally him being there and being so patient and not telling me, like, oh, get over it, or oh, like, nothing. He was just so patient and so tender and so loving and so, I don't know, just everything that I needed as a grown-ass woman, but also everything that the little girl in me needed, to just be loved in this way of him being so patient and so loving. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and a vulnerable moment for myself, and something that I have, an intention that I have set, is for me to reach this next level of vulnerability and authenticity with my husband as him and I do the work together and just create a whole new space for ourselves. And so, ta-da! God, the universe, spirit delivers. Here you go. Here's a great opportunity for you to be so vulnerable and so authentic and so tender, and watch how you are celebrated. Watch how you are cared for. Watch how you are loved. Watch how you matter to him, right? And so that was such a healing fucking moment for myself. There was so much coming up for me. Something else too that I realize is I was living life through the lens that that I don't matter, or that I'm not worthy, or I'm not celebrated, right? And so what I saw for a really long time, because I believed that to be true for myself, and that is literally the lens by which I was living life through, I kept experiencing how I'm not celebrated. I don't matter. Nobody shows up for me. And also how I would almost plan life in a way where I wasn't even able to do anything. And so in June is Father's Day and my husband's birthday. And so every time that we have planned vacations, almost always we do June. I make sure it's around his birthday and we go, and so on and so forth. And even when he has said like, hey, we should actually go for your birthday, it's like, oh, no big deal. We're going to go for yours. So I just see how I have just operated in this story and lived in it for so long, that I was just doing things subconsciously that was just showing me and reflecting back to me how I'm not celebrated. I'm not worthy of being celebrated. I don't matter. All of this craziness. And also, I was able to reflect back on the fact that how I move for everyone else, oh, I'm there. Like, no, let's celebrate your birthday. What do you want to do? Like, I got it for everyone else. I have the creativity. I have the plans. I have the thoughts. I have the availability. I have the money. I have the resources. I have all the things. And then when it came to my birthday, it's like, oh, I can't. Oh, I've overspent over here. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I don't even have the ideas. Oh, I don't even know what to do. All of this shit. And also how I have carried that into other areas of life. For Mother's Day, I hated Mother's Day for the longest time, because I just like, nobody's celebrating me. No one's acknowledging me. No one's recognizing me, all of this stuff. And none of that was necessarily true. And also there was a time that I was like, I'm just going to celebrate myself. I'm going to do what I want on Mother's Day and yada, 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 whatever. But just me believing that to be true really had me operating as a person who wasn't being celebrated, who didn't matter, would almost like set up my life in that way. And another thing that I realized that I brought this into, not only my birthdays and Mother's Day, but I also brought this into another area of my life. We love hosting people. We love having game nights. We love having parties, right? And parties look a little different nowadays than it did once upon a time. I'm not like drinking and taking shots, and I feel like that was part of the entertainment in my house for a long time. But I have even stopped doing that because the no's, or the people that don't show up, or this whole story that I had, right? People don't show up for me in the way that I show up for them. Oh, people aren't going to show up. This whole rejection part, this I'm not celebrated, and all of this shit. And so I just realized so much for me on that day, and the little girl in me just crying to be celebrated, to be seen, and for me to be witnessed, and for my husband to hold me through that and to just be there with me was the most beautiful thing ever. And then at the end of the day, my family and friends showed up for me. Imagine that, right? My daughter and my husband put together a surprise party, and people were at my house waiting for us when we got back from the pool. So it was such a beautiful day. But I wanted to share this because I would love for you to reflect on maybe some of the stories that you're carrying on about what you are believing to be true about yourself. How are you celebrating yourself? How are you not allowing people to celebrate? How are you not even being open to receiving the celebration that life has for you, that people have for you? And how are you not even planning to celebrate yourself? Because maybe you can relate to like, oh yeah, my kids, I got to worry about my kids' parties, and I want to celebrate my husband, and I want to celebrate friends, and all of these things. And like, maybe me next time. Versus how do you actually want to spend your birthday? And I also want to say this is that there was a few years ago, I went on a solo retreat, and that was for my birthday. And that was very intentional. I was like, I want to do this for my birthday. Like, it's a must. And I had felt so guilty for 2 years. I had been thinking about going to this retreat. It always fell around my birthday. But not only did it fall around my birthday, it fell around my wedding anniversary, because my wedding anniversary is so close to my birthday. And so the fact that I was thinking about it for 2 years and then I finally did, I was so proud of myself. I had a blast and so much healing that happened there for myself and my marriage and just everything that I did with so much intention. And on that trip, I was so celebrated. My father spoiled the hell out of me. It was such a great time. It was me by myself. And so that was also my reminder of the intention that I get to put in to my birthdays, if that's how I want to celebrate my birthdays, into Mother's Day. I mean, into life, but I'm specifically referring to my birthday because I realize how I have opted out of being celebrated for so long that I don't have plans, I don't have the creativity, I don't have the money, all of these crazy things. And when I look at some of the proof of the things that have taken place, the ones that I remember, the intention that was put there that I put myself, the intention that someone else put there of having a surprise party, the intention of my family. So knowing there's proof that I am celebrated, I am loved, and like, of course, I already knew that. But when I was living life through the lens that I'm not celebrated and I don't matter and all of these other stories, I wasn't even able to see the times that I was celebrated, the times that I'm celebrated constantly, and how I have even set myself up in a way to experience things that I have wanted to experience with some intention, and I get to do so much more of that. So I hope that this serves someone. I wanted to share this story, and every time that I tried to record it, I just was sobbing. So I was like, all right, I think I'm in a place where I'm not gonna sob. And let's just see here really quick. I just want to go through my journal to see if there's anything that I want to share. All right, maybe I'll share this one. This is good. This is good. Something else that was coming up for me how I don't plan things because I think I'm going to be a bother. I don't want to spend too much money, whether or not people are going to be available. Is it going to be an inconvenience? Like, all of these stories played such a big part on what I was or wasn't going to do, which then ended up being nothing special because I hadn't planned for it. And all of these stories I was living life in. So I wanted to share that one because I know that could probably resonate as well. And that's what I have written down. I said, I haven't planned anything for my birthday for fear of being a bother, spending too much money, whether people are available for me. And the other one that I didn't write was being an inconvenience. And I feel like maybe that's somewhere else. The fear of being disappointed. All right, let's go into this other page. I said, woo, it has been a day. So much coming up for me around my birthday. All I have believed and lived life through on my birthday and days of celebrating myself. And today will be the last few days. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to read my writing. Lived life through on my birthday and days of celebrating myself. And today. And then I put, well, the last few days, things started coming up for me. I see how for my wedding anniversary, things started arising about why I haven't or hadn't done anything like that before. And the fear of whether he would receive it and love it, or if he would think it was corny and stupid and unnecessary. And then I heard my father's voice, apaga esa porquería. And it hit me. Not that I had a memory of that, but I feel like that is something that my dad would say. He isn't and hasn't been ever open to being celebrated or honored. He has always drank his life celebrations away. He didn't feel, and I know that for him, he probably didn't feel good enough. Well, I'm having such aha moments right now in the things I believed and carried about myself. And I can't read my writing here. The things that I have believed and carried about myself, but also what my mom and dad have been and what I have witnessed, what I had witnessed for so long. I had been carrying the weight and burden I see of my mom, my dad, and myself. And today, I healed that for myself and my parents, and who knows for the generations before them. And I put ancestral healing took place today. Wow, so beautiful. Let's see what else I can share with y'all. I think that was a good way of like ending it off right there. Maybe. Something else I'll share is I did write a letter from little me to me now, and from old me to the little me. The letter that I wrote to the little me was, I want you to know that you are so loved, cherished, and cared for. We have such a beautiful life. Okay. Here we go. We have such a beautiful life. 3 kids and such a loving husband. You are living your purpose and you're living your purpose and bringing people together. You have built community, sisterhood, and truly living a dream. While you help women and girls. Can't read my writing, y'all. Can't read my writing. You are the best mom. You have the best relationship. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Okay. And then the other one is, I am so proud of you and all you were and have become. Thank you for your resilience, your grit, your strength, something you have always had and portrayed. I am so happy and proud of you. Thank you for being you, even when it felt hard. Thank you for your kindness, your honesty, and your forgiveness. I love you and want you to know that you are safe, you are loved, and I got you. No need to be scared or afraid or unsure. We have it all. We have it all and more is coming. I love you. So good. Okay. And I think I'm done crying with y'all, even though I tried not to. Yeah. All right. That's all I got, but I wanted to come and share this. I love y'all. I hope that you enjoy this. I would love to hear your feedback, anything that came up for you. And I want to remind you too that you are so worthy of being celebrated, that you do matter, and that you get to plan whatever it is that you want, or allow yourself to receive what others have for you. And most importantly, right now, this is your invitation. This is your invitation to join us inside of the Reclamation, where we do this work, where we uncover the stories, where we let go of the parts of us that really have felt that we are unworthy, that we don't matter, and where we allow ourselves to be in a vulnerable and authentic space where we can allow others to support us when we are in sisterhood with our partners, with our friends, with our family, and really create those spaces and have those people that love us to be there to support us so that they can support us and we can support them. But no longer are we just being the one that holds it all and is the one that is a shoulder to cry on, or the one that people call. You get to be that, but you also get to have that. No longer will you hold back. No longer will you live in the stories that you believe that you are not worthy, that you don't matter, that, oh, you shouldn't be celebrated. You get to step into being celebrated, being loved, and being honored. I love you, and I hope that you enjoy this. And I will talk to you soon.